Hello there, pretty passerby, and welcome back to my dark alley of wonders. Today's offering is my ritual for making creepy cute pins with the help of a middleman entity known as Zap Creatives. This video will be separated in two parts. In the first part, I'll give you some designing tips for your art, and in the second part, I will show you how to submit your design to the company.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
What's up guys, it's Crimsy from the future. So this video turned out to be quite a mouthful, so if you don't mind, we're going to make this a two-parter. If only for the sake of not dropping a 30-minute bomb on all you lovely people, but also because now if some of you are more interested in the art advice and others in the tutorial, now you can choose to watch only the video that you fancy most. Or both, it's pretty cool too. Note that we are not talking about enamel pins here, but acrylic pin and wooden pins that are partially homemade, such as this cute one, and this one, and all of this. Except maybe this one. What are you doing there? Go away! The first item on our list, or rather our quest to making the best looking pin, is of course a design idea. I personally love adorable yet disturbing little creature designs. The thing is, all I've drawn lately have been human portraits and faces for some reason, so I thought, hey, here's an idea for you. Why not take the most charming features of the human face and just split them apart into their own little monstrosities? They could be creatures born from the mistreatment of said facial parts, who decided enough is enough, they just got tired of their human host and they popped right out of there and carried on to do their own thing and lead their own lives. So yeah, that's how I came up with my faceless anomalies idea. First up, we have Oculus, the traveling left eyeball of a voyeur. We have Tattletale, the flying lips of a naughty gossiper. We also have Sweetie, the fallen molar of a diabetic princess. Go figure. We have Papilla, the questionable tongue of a chronic liar. And finally, we got Bangs. My favorite one is the shy hair of a beautiful cancer victim. I suppose for that last one, tragedy and sickness could also be a factor as to how these creatures are born. I was just thinking that it would be pretty funny to just be creative and invent the most crazy stories as to how people would lose an eye or a tooth or a hair, So let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas for other characters. That would be pretty cool. But we're gonna move on now that we have our design ideas, and here are some tips regarding the art itself. Tip number 1. Always make your original drawing in 300 dpi. This is very important when it comes to scaling down your art without losing quality in the process. And it's also actually just a very common standard when it comes to printing anything really. So just do it, even if you don't think you're going to need it, because once you start your drawing in the traditional 72 dpi, I think most softwares are set this way. Well, you can't go back to 300 even if you do change it. You can't upscale DPI just like that. You really gotta do it first thing when you create your file. Also, do consider working in a bigger file size than what you're gonna need for your submission. The submissions are actually pretty small, but you should always try to work in much bigger sizes. Like, I always work in a 3000 pixels wide canvas. And that's just me. You can go bigger, you can go smaller. It's not that bad, but if you ever want to then use this design again and put it on a shirt or print it, then if you made it super small, it's just not gonna work. So always work bigger if you can, and if your computer can take it, of course. Tip number 2. Always keep in mind that you will be working in a square canvas. And as such, you really have to make the best use that you can of your square area. This means no stretched out snakes, no flat hurter pride pins, what a shame, and no IKEA towers, and very minimal if no backgrounds at all. Not to say that you cannot do all of those things, but you're gonna waste a lot of space in your square and the details just won't appear as good, so you've been warned. I personally made sure that all of my creepy cute pins were fitting pretty cozy inside their little square, as you can see here. Tip number 3. Keep your designs simple and get rid of unnecessary details. A 1-inch pin is pretty small, so if you make teeny weeny little details in your art, chances are they won't show up or they will appear very blurry in your final result. Here's an example for a 2-inch charm that I created this year of my OC Gabby. You can clearly see her tattoos, necklace, and other small details in the piece of art, but this is how it actually came out once printed on the charm. We barely see those details at all, and this is a 2-inch charm. We're doing 1-inch pins, or at least this tutorial, that's what we're doing. So if you want a good trick to be able to tell if you're going to be able to see your details or not, and if they're big enough or not, it's simply to zoom out of your art and try to make it match the real size of the pin on your screen. That means zooming out a lot, and if you can't see those details clearly, either remove them, make them bigger, or simplify them while keeping them recognizable. Tip number 4. Along with keeping your designs simple, try to be mindful of your lines, shapes, and colors. Thicker lines really go a long way in making your design easy to read, especially from a distance. And if you can think of a distinct shape for your pin, it's gonna be more memorable and more, let's just say, attractive to the eye. And the last thing would be the colors. Always try to have bright and contrasting colors that will really make the design pop, especially from afar, because you have to remember not only the actual pins are pretty small, but most people that are going to look at the pins are not going to be sticking their nose right up the back of the person who wears them. So it should be easy to tell what is what from a certain distance of, let's say, 1 meter at the very least. Tip number 5. Avoid traditional art. This is strictly my opinion, of course, but unless you can take some really high resolution pictures of your drawing and have some mad Photoshop skills, your art will most likely look pretty grainy, blurry, borderline dirty, and it's just not a good look once printed. It's really up to you if you want to go ahead and just scan your traditional art, but I personally think it's just not as flattering as the digital submissions. And don't worry, if you do not own a tablet, you can always draw your art traditionally, scan it, and then go over the art in a software using the curve tool that's available in most, if not all, drawing softwares. And that's gonna convert your art into a much cleaner digital file. And there are lots and lots of tutorials out there that can show you how to do that. And now that we have taken all of this into consideration, we are finally ready to submit our designs to Zap Creatives. let's take our coffee break here and stay tuned for the part 2 that's gonna be coming out in a couple days. And again, thank you so much everyone for helping me reach this first milestone. I highly appreciate it, and I'm so glad that I got all of you on board with this channel, and I hope that you're gonna love the videos to come, because there are some really good ones I hope that you're gonna like. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you for part 2. Au revoir!